Today's session was probably the longest session that I've had in quite a while. It ended up going for about 2 hours, which as of late has been awesome. Much like what I mentioned the other day, I'm still in sort of the figure character out stage. I've gotten a lot farther, and I was actually able to get closing in at about 1,000 words written here. So we're starting to really get our character, at least understand them a bit better, and finally have their motivations down a bit better. And I've got to say, it's probably been the funnest, probably the most fun that I have had in the writing process in quite a while is trying to figure this character out. I say this a lot, and it is absolutely true that you need to find things in the writing process that you enjoy. You cannot be just outcome based when it comes to writing. There's just not enough victories to justify the suffering. that's that's the very simple answer. Again, if you're getting, God, if you're lucky and if you're skilled, I mean, you're getting maybe a couple of short stories published, maybe a year, and with that, maybe a book published every couple of years. It's a lot of anguish in between those periods that just are never going to justify your joy. And that's, once you're at a really skilled level here. I've been at this now for 9 years, and it's, you see. You see me get progressively closer and closer here, to getting these stories out. My book's coming out obviously later this year, etc. And man, you've got to find the joy in the small things in this. And for me, today was really, really fun just to dig in and kind of figure out what this character is about. It's probably the most complex character that I've written. Not to say that they're overly complex, but it's there's a depth to him. There's a depth to this character that's kind of taken me by surprise as I've gone into it. Oftentimes when you write characters at the start, they feel very, very stereotypical. Your characters feel very cliche, and it's because you're writing from a position of generality. You're going off of notions and ideas that you've seen before. And often the most frequent ideas and concepts that you've seen are usually the first ones that come to your mind, because your mind basically works on a sort of recall system where it goes for the shortest route or the simplest route to an answer. In this case, what you've done before, what you've basically the things that you've seen before, those are the shortest and most easy answers, most direct answers, basically. And so the onus is on you as the writer to always go deeper, to always try to find a layer to your characters that you have not seen prior. And that's what breaks up the cliche. That's what makes a trope original. It just takes time. It takes a lot of time. And this is often why, some of the best characters you'll ever write, or the best stories you'll ever write, are ones that are very close and very personal to you, because you have the details already. You know these characters and you know these details, and you can find the small specific things to point out in your prose that are going to make them stand out, that are going to make them feel different from what we've seen before. Detail is how you beat cliche, and detail is how you're going to make your characters feel very real. And this has been a lot of this early process for me. It's just getting these details in, these few kind of fun details. Just a couple of little anecdotes that have been sprinkled in about this character's sort of life. It's a reflective piece, with them looking back at this point on just like a few moments during one summer. And it's going to obviously expand into more of the tragedy and the concepts of the whole collection here. But That's where the joy's been. Is just like getting into this character's head and figuring them out. It's fun. It's fun. You can get a character like this. Not every story is like that. Not every story feels as original as this one does. A lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes you'll get stories that you have to write, just because you have to get something down, and it feels like you're pushing your way through it, and it's a struggle, and you got to just kind of go through it. But occasionally, like I said, you get these nice stories like this that just seem to come together really well, and these characters that seem to come alive, and it's that kind of magic, I think, that really just keeps this process going. And so, heading into a bit of the long weekend, I'm hoping to get a ton more done. My computer is showing up the next day or two, so that'll be fun. We can get that done, and hopefully at some point next week we'll have a new system. But for now, yeah, see you back to the keyboard, and I will see you all tomorrow.